I'll make a motion to approve the labor contract as negotiated.
I'll second it.
Motion by Stashik, second by Hartenstein to approve the labor negotiation. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You guys can go. Did you find my flip flops? Did you? Okay.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
See you guys. Not January 1st, though.
I did.
Okay, K1 new business, discussion and possible action to amend ordinance, section 103-13 fences and walls.
What this is a change of ordinance, because right now, currently, we have the building inspector that does fences, even though all the fence requirements come through municipal ops, we already discussed, through zoning regulations, so we're changing that to go from the building inspector to municipal operations, director of municipal operations, in addition to changing the swimming pool fence from 5 to 4 feet on ordinance 103-13 fences and walls.
I'll introduce ordinance 2023-05, section 103-13 fences and walls.
I'll second it.
Ordinance 2023-05 was introduced by Stashik, second by Hartenstein. And the ordinance section 103-13 fences and walls. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Fort.
Aye.
Hottenstein.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Page.
Aye.
Stashik.
Yes.
Zuliger. Aye. Game.
Aye. Ordinance 2023-05 is passed. Discussion and possible action on resolution 2023-14 to amend the building permit fees.
That's just removing the $50 permit fee from the current building permit schedule. Seeing as how the building inspector is no longer doing the permit.
I'll introduce resolution 2023-14, authorizing and amending fees for the municipal building permit.
I'll second it.
Introduced by Court, second by Zuliger. Introduce the resolution 2023-14 authorizing amending fees for municipal building permits. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Fort.
Aye.
Hottenstein. Aye. Kelly.
Aye.
Page.
Aye.
Stashik.
Aye.
Zuliger. Aye. Game.
Aye. Resolution passed. Discussion with possible action on resolution 2023-15 to create a new special revenue fund for Bonduel area parks.
This came from the last meeting where we talked about the 501c3 that we were going to create and instead decided to do the special revenue fund. In order to create that special revenue fund, we need to pass a resolution spelling out how that's going to be set up and what those funds will be spent for. So basically, this is the resolution just saying that that special revenue fund, the accounts for that, any donated funds will be spent just for village parks and related maintenance needs and facility needs of parks. So any money we get in, we'll go for that.
I'll introduce resolution 2023-15, resolution creating a new special revenue fund to account for donations received by and on behalf of Bonduel area parks and their associated expenditures.
I'll second that.
Introduced by Stashik, second by Hartenstein. Resolution 2023-15, creating a new special revenue fund to account for donations received by and on behalf of Bonduel area parks and their associated expenditures. Is Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Ford,
Aye.
Ottenstein,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Page,
Aye.
Stashik,
Aye.
Zuliger, Kane.
Aye. Resolution passed. Discussion and possible action on submission of police radar board claim to insurance.
This was out of the COW meeting, basically giving Michelle permission to submit the insurance claim so we can get a replacement radar board.
I'll make a motion to approve the submitting to the insurance for the new police radar board to the insurance.
I'll second that.
Motion by Hahnstein, second by Stashik. To approve the submission of the police radar board claim to the insurance. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion to approve. Discussion and possible action to approve the operated bartender license application.
This can actually be dismissed if the person did not show up, so if you by consensus.
By consent.
By consensus.
Okay.
Discussion and possible action on 2024 budget guideline numbers.
All right, budget time. So I guess normally we would have had a admin meeting to discuss budget guideline numbers. So I guess I'm looking for you guys to kind of give us some direction on what you want us to do. I mean, normally I think it's kind of like a 2%. I mean, that is feasible in some spots, that we can try to keep it at a 2%. And now with fuel and things of that nature that we can't, and wages, we know, I think most of the wages we kind of have set already. Those things we know, but I guess if you want to give us some kind of guidelines as to what you want us to do for this year's budget. And we'll just try to keep it as low as possible. I mean, I don't know what our, we'll just put it on here because normally we had some kind of guidelines in the past.
I mean, do we have to really have a guideline, or is it helpful? Or, I mean,
I mean, if you give
Like,
us
I
a
don't-
percentage to go up, I mean, that gives us a base point. Obviously, some things like fuel is a different. But I know in years past, you guys have given us like 2%, and I want to cost it at 2%, and then go back to each line. I don't know how they do it, that's how I do it. Go back to each line item and look at like, fuel is more, rental vehicles for us. We haven't changed it this year, so that's not gonna be more. Things in the water department are gonna be more, because that continuously climbs through.
Okay, but what's what it has been the average for say like the last couple of years?
I think since I've been here, we started with a 2% baseline, and then, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like when I look at mine, a lot of my like office supplies and things like that, a lot of that I kind of leave status where it is. I mean, granted, like my copier stuff, I know that's gonna go up, so I'll look at that, and that's kind of been my equipment, my office equipment, like rent or lease on the copier. That's pretty status where it is. But like if I'm gonna buy stuff, I usually try to keep it kind of the same as it was the year before. But then, like publication budget, I'll usually go up a little bit on that because I know that the paper's gonna charge me more probably for publications. So things I know that are gonna stay, I kind of try to keep where I can, but things I know might creep up a little, I try to do 1-2%. Things that I know are gonna go up more is usually gonna be wages. For me, it's a little easier. Jesse's got the biggest burden with as many line items as he has. These guys have fuel. I don't really have fuel besides heat. So where I go up my 2% or better is going to be on my phone, my heat, my electric. Those, my utilities are gonna be the ones that I can go up on or that need to go up. I don't have equipment. I don't really have a lot of those big bucket items like you say. So for me, it's easier for me to kind of stay within, I mean, the only thing that goes up that I look at more so would be insurance, which this year it's pretty stacked. There's a couple things that'll go up a little bit that they gave me, and I just go by what the insurance is. So what I can stay at, I try to stay within that 2%.
And that's been pretty much working for the last couple of years.
And I think we should just do that, don't you guys?
Yeah, we'll stay at the 2%.
We just need to make a motion. I'll make a motion to propose a 2% increase across the board as a guideline.
Second.
Motion by Hottenstein, second by Page, to approve a 2% on the guideline numbers for the 2024 budget. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Discussion on 2024 budget worksheets.
All right, I gave everybody a book for their budgets this year. So basically, in the front is gonna be more so guide for the department heads for departments right now to start. Budget worksheets have been handed out, so we can start working on them. It's a little bit later than what we said in here, but the first thing that we really need to get done is for the cow committee, on August 23rd, we need to look at those capital equipment requests. So a lot of those have been pretty much identified. We've been working on the CIP stuff, but we need to get those numbers in for that meeting. And that's where we're gonna meet. Normally municipal operations would have gone through those numbers and those equipment requests and brought those to the board. We'll work on those at the cow meeting and look at, okay, here's what everybody wants this year for capital equipment needs. What can we afford? What can't we afford? What are we gonna bring forward this year? What are we thinking we're gonna try to buy this year? That doesn't mean that's what we're gonna get. I mean, we might have to put something, but that's what we're gonna try for. Depending on where all the other operational stuff hits, that's what we're gonna work for. So that's gonna be the first thing. In the meantime, the rest of the department, need to still work on their other line items. But for the 23rd, they need to have all their capital equipment requests in their books. They have these forms that they'll fill out and bring those to the meeting for the 23rd. Anything over 2,500 that they're asking for, or larger ticket items that would fall on the capital equipment requests, even if they're under 2,500 and they're a bigger item that are on there, I just fill it out so we know it's there. If it's coming out of the 200 or 300 fund, so that we're aware it's a bigger expense, that something out of the norm we normally wouldn't buy. So if it's a pager, radio, even if it's a $2,000 thing, just so we know we're buying it. And that's an expense. So that would be the first thing, and then we won't be having really like special budget meetings unless we have to, because we'll have that cow meeting now. So we'll have our normal meeting where we'll work on stuff, and then we'll have the cow. So the dates are in there, and then all the first set of budget sheets are in there, so. If there's questions in departments, I got some stuff I have to move yet for Eric, so there's a couple things that'll change a little bit. So there's couple items I gotta move around for him, but otherwise, everybody else's stuff I think I've got moved. But if there's something you see in there that doesn't look right, let me know, and I can move it to where it needs to be. And then evaluations, you guys will be looking at evaluations, next month, so, I'll get those out for early next month, and you'll be doing those at the cow meeting in September. So you'll be doing all of our evaluations next month, and we'll be doing our department evaluations next month, so. But this year, you guys will work on all, basically, of our evaluations together versus by committee. So, just maybe a little bit of time if you do it. Okay. So it'll be a little bit different this year. Any questions on any of that? Yeah.
Unfinished business, L1, discussion on possible action on appointments to boards, commissions, and committees.
Nobody? No takers? Does anybody have anybody that would be interested or know of anybody that might be interested in being on Fire commission. The whole row. Remember?
They can't be on the board, right?
No, we already have one on the board. So, I guess if you think of someone, or if you
Just keep
guys can,
checking.
you know, if you talk to anybody, be a village resident. Kind of went through and looked at people who maybe live in houses, but if you know anybody that maybe would rent there, I don't know who like, rents, and maybe would be somebody. If you have any ideas, let us know. So by consensus,
Consensus,
we'll
move
move
it.
The one I'm thinking of, I know he won't, so.
Everybody doesn't want to. They're scared.
Approval of payments, Shamrock.
The payments are in there. This time we did have paid, bond trust, so we have 2 interest payments we are paying this time. For the 2016 general obligation loan and for the 2020 general obligation loan. So they're interest payments, for, the debt service. So we are paying for the $1.8 million full bond and then the, 2009, I'm sorry. So we're just paying interest this time. The main ones were paid last time. So we have one more gold bond to pay up this year, interest, and that'll be in November. So that's a big chunk. And then we did pay insurance premium this time, which was about $40,000. So some bigger payments this time.
I'll make a motion to approve the payments.
I'll second it.
Motion by Stashik, second by Hartstein. For approval of payments. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Treasurer's report, Shamrock.
The treasurer's report is in there. There's not really anything in there that's out of the norm. Everything has been adjusted with audit. I did do all the journal entries. There was one little thing in there that was out of whack. Nobody noticed it, but I got it off there. There was a double entry in there, and so you wouldn't have noticed it, but I found it. The cash clearing thing, so it's good.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second it.
Motion by Court, second by Zuliger to approve the treasurer's report. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Announcements.
Fire commission, next Thursday, the 17th, I will be attending that one, just to go through a few things they have questions on and, explain a few things. Plan commission will be meeting still August 21st.
Yes.
Okay, and then committee of the whole, August 23rd. Any other meetings that we know of? Anything else?
That should be it. I just got the PC in.
Jen will be gone August 22nd to clerk training. Oh my God, I'm going to new clerk training. And that's about all I need.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Motion by Hartstein, second by Zuliger. Stashik, sorry about that. Adjourn, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Adjourn at 6:20.